Good morning. This is Kim Blaylock with SDG Bible Study. That's the Soli Deo Gloria Bible Study coming to you on this Saturday morning, August the 22nd, 2026. Hope everyone is doing well, ready for the weekend, and ready for the reading of God's Word as we continue reading from the reading plan as it happened. A one-year chronological walk through the Bible, and also reading from Daily Doctrine, a one-year guide to systematic theology. This morning we'll be in the book of Jeremiah, chapters 49 and 50. So join me as we read God's word together. Jeremiah chapter 49. Concerning the sons of Ammon, thus says Yahweh, does Israel have no sons, or has he no one who can take possession? Why then has Malcolm taken possession of Gad, and his people settled in its cities? Therefore, behold, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, that I will cause a trumpet blast of war to be heard against Rabbah, the sons of Ammon, and it will become a desolate heap, and her towns will be set on fire. Then Israel will take possession of his possessors, says Yahweh. Well, O Heshbon, for Ai has been destroyed. Cry out, O daughters of Rabbah. Gird yourselves with sackcloth and lament, and rush back and forth inside the walls. For Malcolm will go into exile together with his priest and his princes. How boastful you are about the valleys. Your valley is flowing away, O faithless daughter, who trusts in her treasures, saying, who will come against me? Behold, I am going to bring dread upon you, declares Lord Yahweh of hosts, from all around you, and each of you will be banished headlong, with no one to gather the one who flees. But afterwards, I will return the fortunes of the sons of Ammon, declares Yahweh. Concerning Edom, thus says Yahweh of hosts, is there no longer any wisdom in Teman? Has counsel been lost to the understanding? Has their wisdom decayed? Flee away, turn back, and inhabit the depths, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the disaster of Esau upon him at the time I punish him. If grape gatherers came to you, would they not have gleanings remaining? If thieves came by night, they would ruin only until they had enough. But I have stripped Esau bare. I have uncovered his hiding places, so that he will not be able to conceal himself. His seed has been destroyed along with his relatives and his neighbors, and he is no more. Leave your orphans behind. I will keep them alive, and let your widows trust in me. For thus says Yahweh, behold, those who are not under judgment to drink the cup will certainly drink it. But are you the one who will go completely unpunished? You will not go unpunished, but you will certainly drink it. For I have sworn by myself, declares Yahweh, that Basra will become an object of horror, a reproach, a ruin, and an imprecation, and all its cities will become perpetual ruins. I have heard a message from Yahweh, and an envoy is sent among the nations, saying, gather yourselves together and come against her, and rise up for battle. For behold, I have made you small among the nations, despised among men. As for the terror of you, the arrogance of your heart has deceived you, O you who dwell in the clefts of the rock, who seize the height of the hill. Though you make your nest as high as an eagle's, I will bring you down from there, declares Yahweh. Edom will become an object of horror. Everyone who passes by it will be horrified and will hiss at all its wounds. Like the overflow of Sodom and Gomorrah with its neighbors, says Yahweh, no one will live there, nor will a son of man sojourn in it. Behold, one will come up like a lion from the thickets of the Jordan against an enduring pasture. For in an instant I will make him run away from it, and whoever is chosen I shall appoint over it. For who is like me, and who will summon me into court? And who then is the shepherd who can stand against me? Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh which he has counseled against Edom, and his purposes which he has purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely they will drag them off, even the little ones of the flock. Surely he will make their pasture desolate because of them. The earth has quaked at the noise of their downfall. There is an outcry. The noise of it has been heard, at the Red Sea. Behold, he will mount up and swoop like an eagle and spread out his wings against Basra. And the hearts of the mighty men of Edom in that day will be like the heart of a woman in labor. Concerning Damascus, Hamath and Arpad are put to shame, for they have heard a bad report. They are melting away. There is anxiety by the sea. It cannot be quieted. Damascus has become limp in their hands. She has turned away to flee, and panic has taken hold of her. Distress and pangs have seized her like a woman in childbirth. How the city of praise has not been forsaken, the town of my joy. Therefore, her young men will fall in her open squares, and all the men of war will be silenced in that day, declares Yahweh of hosts. I will set fire to the wall of Damascus, and it will devour the fortified towers of Ben-Hadad. Concerning Kedar and the kingdoms of Hazor, which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, struck down, thus says Yahweh, Rise, go up to Kedar, and destroy the men of the east. They will take away their tents and their flocks. They will carry off for themselves their tent curtains, all their goods, and all their camels. And they will call out to one another, terror on every side. Run away, flee earnestly, inhabit the depths, O inhabitants of Hazor, declares Yahweh. For Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has taken counsel against you and purposed a purpose. Arise, go up against a nation which is at ease, which inhabits its land securely, declares Yahweh. It has no gates or bars. They dwell alone. Their camels will become plunder, and their many cattle for spoil. And I will scatter to all the winds those who cut the corners of their hair, and I will bring their disaster from every side, declares Yahweh. Hazor will become a haunt of jackals, a desolation forever. No one will inhabit there, nor will a son of man sojourn in it. That which came as the word of Yahweh to Jeremiah the prophet concerning Elam in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, saying, Thus says Yahweh of hosts, Behold, I'm going to break the bow of Elam, the finest of their might. I will bring upon Elam the four winds from the four ends of heaven, and I will scatter them to all these winds, and there will be no nation to which the banished ones of Elam will not go. So I will shatter Elam before their enemies and before those who seek their lives, and I will bring calamity upon them, even my burning anger, declares Yahweh, and I will send out the sword after them until I have consumed them. Then I will set my throne in Elam and cause king and princes from there to perish, declares Yahweh. But it will be in the last days that I will return the fortunes of Elam, declares Yahweh. Jeremiah chapter 50. The word which Yahweh spoke concerning Babylon, the land of the Chaldeans, by the hand of Jeremiah the prophet. Declare and make it heard among the nations. Make it heard and lift up a standard. Do not conceal it, but say, Babylon has been captured. Bel has been put to shame. Marduk has been shattered. Her images have been put to shame. Her idols have been shattered. For a nation has come up against her out of the north. It will make her land an object of horror, and there will be no inhabitant in it. Both man and beast have wandered off. They have gone away. In those days and at that time, declares Yahweh, the sons of Israel will come, both they and the sons of Judah as well. They will go along weeping as they go, and it will be Yahweh their God they will seek. They will ask for the way to Zion, turning their faces in its direction and saying, Come, in order that they may join themselves to Yahweh in an everlasting covenant that will not be forgotten. My people have become lost sheep. Their shepherds have led them astray. They have made them turn away on the mountains. They have gone along from mountain to hill and have forgotten their resting place. All who came out against them have devoured them, and their adversaries have said, We are not guilty, inasmuch as they have sinned against Yahweh, who is the abode of righteousness, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. Wander away from the midst of Babylon and go forth from the land of the Chaldeans. Be also like male goats at the head of the flock. For behold, I am going to arouse and bring up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the land of the north. They will range their battle lines against her. From there she will be taken captive. Their arrows will be like a warrior who makes one childless, who does not return empty-handed. Chaldea will become spoil. All who take her spoil will have enough, declares Yahweh. Because you are glad, because you exult, O you who plunder my inheritance, because you skip about like a threshing heifer, and neigh like valiant steeds. Your mother will be greatly ashamed. She who gave you birth will be humiliated. Behold, she will not be the least. Behold, she will be the least of the nations, a wilderness, a parched land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, she will not be inhabited, but she will be completely desolate. Everyone who passes by Babylon will be in desolation and will hiss because of all her wounds. Arrange your battle lines against Babylon on every side, all you who bend the bow. Shoot at her, do not be sparing with your arrows, for she has sinned against Yahweh. Raise a loud shout against her on every side. She has given herself up. Her pillars have fallen. Her walls have been pulled down. For this is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance on her, as she has done to others, so do to her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, the one who seizes the sickle at the time of harvest. For before the sword of the oppressor, they will each turn back to his own people, and they will each flee to his own land. Israel is a scattered flock. The lions have banished them away. The first one who devoured him was the king of Assyria, and the last one who has broken his bones is Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. Therefore, thus says Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I'm going to punish the king of Babylon and his land, just as I punished the king of Assyria. And I will return Israel back to his pasture, and he will graze on Carmel and Bashan, and his desire will be satisfied in the hill country of Ephraim and Gilead. In those days and at that time, declares Yahweh, search will be made for the iniquity of Israel, but there will be none, and for the sins of Judah, but they will not be found. For I will pardon those whom I leave as a remnant. Against the land of Marathon go up against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod. Put them to the sword and devote them to destruction, declares Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded you. The noise of battle is in the land and great destruction. How the hammer of the whole earth has been cut in pieces and broken. How Babylon has become an object of horror among the nations. I set a snare for you, and you are also caught, O Babylon, but you yourself did not know. You have been found and also seized, because you have engaged in conflict with Yahweh. Yahweh has opened his armory and has brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For it is a work of Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come to her from the farthest border, open up her barns, pile her up like heaps, and devote her to destruction. Let nothing of her remain. Put all her young bulls to the sword, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe be upon them, for their day has come, the time of their punishment. There is a sound of those who flee and escape from the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahweh our God, vengeance for his temple. Summon many against Babylon, all those who bend the bow, encamp against her on every side. Let there be no escape. Repay her according to her work, according to all that she has done, so do to her. For she has become arrogant against Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore her young men will fall in her open squares, and all her men of war will be silenced in that day, declares Yahweh. Behold, I am against you, O arrogant one, declares Lord Yahweh of hosts. For your day has come, the time when I will punish you. The arrogant one will stumble and fall, with no one to raise him up. And I will set fire to his cities, and it will devour him on every side. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, the sons of Israel are oppressed, and the sons of Judah as well. and all who took them captive have held them fast. They have refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh of hosts is his name. He will vigorously plead their case so that he may bring relief to the earth, but turmoil to the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword against the Chaldeans, declares Yahweh, and against the inhabitants of Babylon, and against her officials and her wise men. A sword against the oracle priest, and they will become fools. A sword against her mighty men, and they will be shattered. A sword against their horses, and against their chariots, and against all the foreigners who are in the midst of her, and they will become women. A sword against her treasures, and they will be plundered. A drought on her waters, and they will be dried up, for it is a land of graven images, and they are mad over terrifying idols. Therefore, the desert creatures will live there along with the jackals. The ostriches also will live in it, and it will never again be lived in or dwelt in from generation to generation, as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah with its neighbors, declares Yahweh. No man will live there, nor will any son of man sojourn in it. Behold, a people is coming from the north, a great nation, and many kings will be aroused from the remote parts of the earth. They seize their bow and javelin. They are cruel and have no compassion. Their voices roars like the sea, and they ride on horses arranged like a man for the battle. Against you, O daughter of Babylon. King of Babylon has heard the report about them, and his hands hang limp. Distress has taken hold of him, agony like a woman in childbirth. Behold, one will come up like a lion from the thicket of the Jordan to an enduring pasture. For in an instant I will make them run away from it, and whoever is chosen I will point over it. For who is like me, and who will summon me into court? And who then is the shepherd who can stand before me? Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, which he has counseled against Babylon, and his purposes, which he has purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely they will drag them off, even the little ones of the flock. Surely he will make their pasture desolate because of them. At the sound, Babylon has been seized, the earth is shaken, and an outcry is heard among the nations. That's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text this morning. Now we'll move on to the reading from Daily Doctrine. Day 234, Deacons. The deacon, diakonos, is a servant who labors alongside the elders in caring for the tangible needs of the body. Acts chapter 6, verses 1 through 6, 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 8 through 19. The Greek word diakonos has the broad meaning of servant. The verb diakoneo means to serve, with an emphasis on practical, hands-on assistance. Matthew chapter 8, verse 15, chapter 25, verse 44, and Luke chapter 10, verse 40. Like the elders, deacons must be an example of Christian virtue. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 8 through 13. Deacons are not junior elders. They have different gifts and minister in different ways with different emphasis. All of us need to be concerned about the needy, but deacons in particular should lead the way in serving those in the church who are in need, unemployed, ill, imprisoned, abused, poor, frightened, anxious, lonely, without friends, without money, or without support. While the question of women serving as elder is relatively straightforward, the question about women and the deaconate is more complicated. The understanding of Gaianakis in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 11 is open to two interpretations. Some exegetes have argued that the women in view are female deacons or deaconesses. In support of this position, we can observe, number one, the wording in the first half of verse 8 is the same as in the first half of verse 11, suggesting that another kind of formal diaconal position is being introduced. Number two, if Gaianicus means the wives of deacons, Paul could have made his point clearer by saying they're women instead of just women. Number three, if the women in view are the wives of deacons, why doesn't Paul include similar qualifications for the elders' wives? Isn't it important that they be spiritually mature as well? There are, however, good reasons to think that Paul is speaking about the wives of deacons and not deaconesses per se. Number one, it would be strange to introduce a new office or subset of an office in verse 11 and then go back to deacons in verse 12. Number two, the discussions of wives in verse 11 leads naturally to the requirement in the next verse of being a one-woman man. Number three, there is no requirement in verse 11 for these women to be tested first, like the deacons. Number four, Paul did not include qualifications for the elders' wives because the work of teaching and governing, unlike the work of hands-on service, would not include women in the same way. Number five, the office of deacon, though not involved in governing like the elder, is still an office tied to authority in the church. Deacons are mentioned side by side with elders in Philippians chapter 1 and 1 Timothy chapter 3. Deacons must exhibit leadership in the home. The work of deacons is tied to the church ministry as a pillar and buttress of the truth. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 15. While my understanding of church office and ordination leads me to restrict the deaconate to qualified men, there is nothing in the scope of diaconal work as such that precludes the ministry of women. Indeed, Phoebe was a servant, diakonos of the church in Cenchrea, Romans chapter 16, verse 1. The New Testament includes many examples of women serving Christ and serving the church. Mark chapter 15, verses 40 and 41, Luke chapter 8, verses 2 and 3, and Acts chapter 9, verse 36. Only some men will be elders and deacons, but all are called to serve and speak the word of God in other ways. That's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text this morning and from Daily Doctrine. This morning, we read in the biblical text God's judgment on surrounding nations, and especially that on Babylon and the Chaldeans, and especially King Nebuchadnezzar. God used him, he allowed him to come in and attack and take into captivity the people of God. But God was watching and seeing how they treated and the people and how they acted upon it and the pride in their heart. And he brought judgment upon them. Then we read about deacons in Daily Doctrine, and I hope that was informative for you. And I hope you take it to heart. And I hope you're thankful for, again, the elders of your church, but also the deacons of your church who serve that role well. I hope you have a blessed day, and soli Deo Gloria.